So, in today's TechCrunch article, which I completely admire the company because it truly brings you the best tech news, but I wasn't really happy to hear that Uber self driving cars are back testing on San Francisco streets. I ask here very simple: is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? Let the drivers share what they think. Is it too soon after the last disasters that happened? In my eyes, it's too soon, and I tell you why. They have the money to buy a big off-road facility, right, that they can build out in a desert area, Palm Springs. There's a lot of land, big pieces of land that are dirt cheap, close outside of Arizona, outside of Palm Springs. I've gone through those prices because I looked up properties that I wanted to buy for ATV and off-roading purposes. So there's cheap stuff there, big pieces of land, build out the infrastructure, create my video months and months back after the last disaster. Remember San Francisco, I believe. I'm not exactly sure how the story goes, but there was some pedestrian that was hit. Phoenix, Arizona, I believe there was a person that even died, right? Or maybe more than one person has died. But I just think it's way too early, way too irresponsible, of the city, San Fran, to allow them back on, right? What is it that they have accumulated in those few months that they can say, hey, we should be allowed back on streets to test our vehicles? You've got all the money in the world, pool it with Uber and Lyft and other companies, build buildings, roads, use robots, have people cross randomly across pedestrian crossings, play out scenarios with other AV vehicles. You can test it there. But to go into the real human environment at this time, I think is way too soon. That's my opinion. Don't quite think they've learned yet from those past mistakes. Let's quickly read the article here. It says Uber Advanced Technologies Group has resumed testing autonomous vehicles in San Francisco 2 years after the company scaled back its testing program following a fatal crash in Arizona that killed a pedestrian. So I was right. There was a fatality there. Uber's self-driving vehicle unit is tiptoeing back into testing its autonomous vehicle technology on public roads. That's the part I don't like. Uber ATG ended all testing on public roads after one of its vehicles struck and killed pedestrian Elaine Hertzberg in the Phoenix suburb of Tempe. Uber ATG was testing its self-driving vehicles in the Phoenix area, Toronto, Pittsburgh, and San Francisco at the time the company let go all 100 of its self-driving operators in Pittsburgh and San Francisco, and rumors circulated that the company wanted to sell its self-driving unit. The startup battlefield, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's just an ad. Uber ATG resumed in December 2018 on road testing of its self-driving vehicles in Pittsburgh following the Pennsylvania Department of Transportation's decision to authorize the company to put its autonomous vehicles on public roads. The company will initially limit testing in San Francisco to a few weeks with two Volvo XC90 vehicles equipped with Uber's self-driving system. Testing on public roads started Tuesday and will only be conducted during daylight hours, the dangerous hours, right? According to Uber, each vehicle will be staffed by a safety driver. We also know that those vehicles were staffed and they did not intervene. Uber ATG received a permit last month from the California Department of Motor Vehicles. I wonder how much they paid for that. The department that regulates autonomous vehicle testing on public roads in the state. The company said at the time that it didn't have immediate plans to put its autonomous vehicles on public roads in San Francisco. 1 month later, it's now back on the road, albeit in a limited fashion. We're excited to resume autonomous testing in Uber's home city this week. Our testing area will be limited in scope to start, but we look forward to scaling up our efforts in the months ahead and learning from the difficult but informative road conditions that the Bay Area has to offer. An Uber spokesman said. Uber is now testing in Dallas, Pittsburgh, San Francisco, Washington, D.C. My takeaway from this, and I remain true to my opinion, Go and spend $100 million, build a facility with robots, roads out in a desert, do all the testing you want out there, right? But I think it's way too premature, and I think it's a idiotic step that the Department of Motor Vehicles took by allowing these guys to get back on roads. Even if it's in a limited fashion, it is a huge, huge danger in my eyes, and way, way too early. Have a great day.